going to be that Smolder Maokai ban for EDG.
And I'm really curious because we haven't had any mid lane bans really so far come out. Maybe the Jwei, because like I said, it's one of 0909's most played. Is it meta in the mid lane? Could be top, but things like the Nico, things like the Karma Ahri, Yuekai not really gravitating heavily towards any of those outside of the Karma. Like I said, 0909, at least what he's played in the LDL in his career so far, also not really gravitating towards any of the mid laners significantly. So it's going to change up what we see in draft quite a lot. We can already see that with the Renekton first pick coming through.
I love that they're just like, you know, your PowerPoint might be Allah, but hey, we'll mess with your mind a little bit with our first pick. That Renekton has been so strong and risen in priority so heavily. Now, EDG, they punch right back. They get the Kalista and the Renata.
Yeah, things like the Lucian, Lucian Melee, Lucian Nami still being available. Varus as well. They just want to try to outrange. Sure, the Ashe shouldn't be paired alongside it, but they do decide to go with the Lucian. So Ultra Prime really wanting to go in an aggressive direction so far with their first three picks. EDG answering back. And that's what I love. When both these teams are already eliminated from playoffs, like practicing, being proactive, and trying to find the edge is going to be a nice way to see this series start off.
Dude, these teams were ready for this one. Fisticuffs are drawn. They want blood. We have aggressive picks in the first phase, but picks being picked immediately. I love the bot lane that will have its 2v2 very often and willing to fight. Now that Cassante locked in against the Renekton top lane, Allah is going to be happy with that matchup. The Tristana ban in the second phase for EDG, trying to hone down the mid lane matchup a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like they realize, right? If they get Tristana, I mean, Renekton having prio, Tristana having prio, like, so many ways for Ultra Prime to just take over the map if they were able to get that pick. So I like the ban coming out so far. The thing I'm most interested in seeing is junglers, because we're not even seeing junglers touch so far in this second phase. And we've seen Monki gravitating towards things like the Lee Sin and trying to be a bit more proactive. He's also been playing the Graves a lot, which can fit in the composition they have because of having that Cassante in the top lane. So I think it's still very open so far with what they can want to go, and both junglers showing different styles.
And we also get the Talia ban out of the mid lane, so trying to take away some of Yuekai's mobility there, which I think can be really important this time. Try to leave 0909 in some way and try to keep active on the map itself. The Orianna, a very particular ban as well. So far, you know, new player getting a couple of priority bans his way. Maybe those resources going to be loved by EDG. We'll see what this final ban is going to be. It's the Volley Bear.
Now to see where EDG go. Like I said, Monkey's been kind of showing a few different dimensions. With all the mid lane bans, maybe you just end up going mid lane here, 0909. Like I said, not really leaning heavily on anything in the meta. Things like the Ahri still available. Nico as well, I think, would fit their comp a little bit better than the Karma. But the Karma sets up for the Graves last pick if they want to go for it.
True. And it might just lead to what I feel like has been the mantra of this entire draft so far, is let's just fight and see who bleeds more. Because you get that very aggressive jungle matchup to match the very aggressive bot lane matchup as well. The Lee Sin is the hover right now. Could be a very proactive pick for Hacker, but something with proactivity would be the name of the game for me in terms of what jungle matchup I want to see. The A Soul gets locked in for Yuekai.
Yeah, crazy. We're going to see this come out. So obviously an Omega Scaler is going to be on the Rift, which is going to be interesting to see how it functions, especially when Ultra Prime so far have such like aggressive 1 and 2 item spike champions like Renekton and Lucian picked up.
And I was just double checking, but if I am correct, this is Yuekai's first ever A Soul competitively. The Rel locked in as well for Ultra Prime, so definitely go with facilitation for Hacker instead of that aggression I was talking about. The Xin Zhao, though, is the aggression for Monki.
Yeah, so gonna go with the Xin. I like it, bringing the CC, having that early dueling there, setting up and being able to skirmish around that Kalista. Ultra Primes is gonna be the one I'm more interested in, especially, again, if they can get Prio and bot and bring Hacker down there and set up 4 of these explosive 3v3s. It'll be fun. And Yuekai going to serve as that insurance policy.
Wondering how quickly we see pathing down towards bot side here, or at least what kind of starts we'll get from both junglers, because I think if there's early blood bot side, whichever one is coming away with that one is going to continue to have priority. That leads to dragons, that leads to control from bottom side. And in this game, in this at least first game, I feel like that's also important.
I mean, bot lane just has to be the name of the game for this. I mean, right? We see how the drafts have panned out. It's going to be all about the 2v2. You have like Asante up in top side, so all is not going to matter as much this game, which feels weird to say, though. Can still take over in a team fight, but again, I really just want to see how mid impacts this game. Yuekai on something like the Asol, and 0909 coming back in after 2 years. Only played 1 series, so it'll be very telling for EDG.
Yeah. It's a very interesting story, even if it's a bottom of the table matchup. An EDG team who has known the highest of highs, but have had a very rough split. They have changed so many different pieces, but the goal remains the same, finding consistency in Ultra Prime. I think that goal is very much at the top of their list. They want to find win. Pride is on the line, but also a beautiful wooden spoon. As we get down to our first series of the night, let's hear those Jwei. Rep to the Ultra Prime fans. Just saying. There were not a lot of them, but I heard it. EDG still got a lot of fans.
I mean, right. I mean, with what the org's done, there's no way people are going to ditch EDG. I mean, a world champion. Like we said, this world champion org bringing in 909. Okay, so
we were looking last year. I'm just saying, like, would you? It's so crazy when you literally like put both rosters from last year EDG on top of each other to this year's EDG, and you go from the likes of Uzi, Mako to an entire roster with JJ, obviously, and then before that Scout. But I think you look at the roster now, it's like, who are a lot of these faces? But a lot of these faces are players that have been being developed by EDG in the LDL side of things.
Yeah, Vampire, Monki, TheSnake, like all of them coming up in EDG. Though I do gotta say, kind of thinking about it though, right? I think EDG weren't expecting to have to develop so many players, because Ala, JJ, and then I think a lot of people forget, right? Like Leave's initial appearance when he first debuted was very good and had a lot of people hyped before he ended up getting taken out. So maybe EDG were hoping that, you know, they would have been able to deliver in that department and only really have to bring up Fisher and Vampire.
Things change in the world of esports, and we find ourselves with a very different looking EDG. One that is looking for a little bit of a saving grace at the end of a season. Ultra Prime, much the same. We do see the priority gain in bottom side here. Also, another trend that we've seen a lot around the world has been top lane being finicky about invades and early pressure. Hacker's looking for the gank, though. He actually has an angle here. Yeah. The Sentinel is not going to see him.
They're going for it.
They get it. There's the flash. There's the shattering strike. Vampire's going to flash himself, but Doggo is the lethal, but it's actually Jwei who gets the kill in the end. So, a little bit of Ultra Prime sauce early on.
Really nice from Ultra Prime. Like you said, the angle was there. They go for it. Monki was nowhere close to being able to answer with the counter gank, and it leaves Ultra Prime, like you said, maybe not the most ideal spot. Like if Doggo got that kill, would have been much better, but they're going to take this. The one interesting thing will be the fact that the Lucian doesn't have the flash, where the Kalista still does. You see repeat attempts made, but I mean, it's just a really nice angle. Doing 3 camp spot side sets him up perfectly into the flash of the shattering strike, and just nowhere for EDG to go.
And I don't want to read too much into it, but I did see TheSnake being very vocal after that fight and after that play, and some response from Monki. I wonder if there was some communication, because you would expect in this kind of situation you get both junglers starting top and going down bot. There was no vision really played for EDG in that way, so we'll see if they get a response here as Monki visits his self bot lane, but will not be able to because of the Ultra Mega Fire Kick.
The wave's just too big as well, right? I really don't see a world where EDG would have been able to find much there. Again, Doggo doesn't have flash, so I can see how they were looking for it, if they can combo the gank into Vampire finding the handshake, but was just too rough, so EDG is going to have to accept where they're at for now. I do want to point out, though, right, we have Karma versus Asol in mid. 0909's been keeping up push. He's going to have opportunities where he can lean down and maybe link up with Monki, and I feel like that's the next thing we're going to have to be looking at for EDG.
Hacker actually going for a little bit of an invade path here onto the Krugs. Not going to find Monki just yet. It will be an interesting tussle if they do find each other up there, even with the vision play that Hacker has. Could be a bit of a difficult side. Now, we do have Dragon and the Grubbies spawning. See which side takes priority here, Lyric. Are we feeling like Telegrubbies today, or are we feeding off the Dragons?
I mean, I would expect Hacker goes for the grubs. Monki should just make his way down. I think look for a gank bot, at least lean, help your bot get the pressure and start trade themselves. But yeah, Hacker's already topside. He has the Renekton that's pushing endlessly. There's no reason not to just take these grubs.
He's also Rel. Makes it a lot easier once the shield comes online there as well. Able to take down. This awkward situation. I love the Observer highlighting it, but we do get the 3 grubs taken by Ultra Prime, so they'll be the ones enjoying the Saturday morning cartoon.
Gonna be nice for them, especially Hacker, with the experience he'll get from that. Thus far, not really in a position where they're gonna be able to utilize any like potential pushing power if they can get set up for those next scrubs.
And that should mean actually Monki able to path down here, especially with a little bit of a priority gain by Vampire and the Snake. Doggo actually fighting right back into him. Out of mana now, though, as that Ignite did go down from Ultra Prime's bot lane. Means that EDG should move up for this objective.
Yeah, taking it much slower, right? Not seeing Monki just tap straight down. Did go for a reset first to start getting his way towards that Sundered Sky, but it leaves room for Ultra Prime to try to contest. Like you said, though, with Doggo not having mana, yeah, it didn't seem like it was in the cards, though. Hacker!
Oh, Hacker. Oh, Hacker. That's real rough. He's only level 4, too, over 0909. They are not able to get him down. At the end, 3 Talent Strike gets him anyways. The big Dragon unable to save his teammate, and another kill goes over. This time finally traded.
He then ends up using the Falling Star to try to, I don't know, I guess desperately hope that he can find 1 kill and make it a 1-for-1. But I don't really understand why Hacker's poking his head into River if his bot lane isn't going to lean up. Again, with where Doggo's at, it doesn't really feel like Ultra Prime's bot lane was in a position to even try to contest.
And EDG will take full advantage of that one. Watch it take a look back at that replay and Hacker getting caught.
Yeah, wave gets pushed in. It seems like Ultra Prime's bot lane knows it's not the plan. Hacker, I guess just wanting to spot out exactly where they're at in regards to it, tries to escape with the Q. But I love that EDG don't give up. They keep running it down. You see the Q come out for the slow. Monkey's able to throw out the Winds Become Lightning and just finish it off. And yeah, I mean, Yuekai doing his best to find one, but it just wasn't there.
Yeah, you just can't find it. It's very difficult. You are a scaling dragon. You gotta wait a long time to really have a lot of influence there. But fighting is gonna be happening there because the tried and true combo of the Xin Zhao Karma is lethal. See that continue though after backs come through. And now you wonder what kind of proactivity is gonna be the name of the game, because in this situation, we haven't necessarily seen that big lead in bot lane go down, but it's been consistently the main focal point.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, a lot of aggressive trading, but nothing able to be capitalized off of. We're hitting a point now where ultimates are almost out across the board. And I feel like that's where we'll start to see a lot more action, especially on the spot lane, right? All the time, Lucian's going for that culling, chunking them out, and then trying to find the opportunity to all in.
A lot of vision game being played here as well. Vampire and Jwei finally getting themselves out on the map. It's very important to focus on here as well, because a lot of the times in these situations, when both teams are playing a little bit more reserved in certain aspects, makes it a lot more difficult to play those aggressive plays when the vision is so strong. And now we actually see Hacker making his way down towards bot side.
Let's see if he's able to.
Oh, no way. Oh, if he was there, he could have had a big little moment. But unfortunately, the wave stayed also in an awkward place for Ultra Prime.
Maybe also reading that they thought maybe Monki would be there, right? It's like, hey, the 2v2's walking aggressively into this tri-bush. We don't know where the enemy jungler is, deciding to back off. That could be a possibility, but little do they know, Hacker gonna end up losing his blue buff. You guessed wrong. Monki took advantage, and that's all she wrote.
Hacker will see him taking it the last second there. Does have 0909 with him. Here comes Yuekai. Take Ultra Prime are thinking about making a play because they had Decade coming as well. They still want to go for it. Oh my god, Flash Magic Storm. There's the Falling Star 2. The breath is too hot, and Monki gets cooked alive by Yuekai.
Nice timing on the summoners. Ultra Prime, I think, very clearly knew he didn't have his flash up still, which is why Hacker was willing to go in on that so aggressively. And it's going to leave Ultra Prime open to be able to get all 6 grubs.
That's so big, actually. The fact that they were able to get those early grubs, then capitalize on Monki right in front of the objective. It just sets them up for that late insurance policy that is Yuekai plus 6 grubs.
Exactly. Like, right, this isn't going to be like a, hey, we have 6 grubs, we're taking a bunch of plates. This will be, if this team keeps getting ahead, it can get a Baron. That's where you're going to see, you know, those mites really come into effect.
We do see first items up. Static Shift for Doggo for that early presence to push back the lane a little bit. Yuekai also completed the Rally's first item. Pretty huge. 4 members of EDG down here. Doggo could have dashed his way at hostile takeover. Monki is going ham. He's going a little too ham. He just get cooked up by Yuekai again. That dragon's eating good.
Yeah, that one was questionable. I respect the passion for how much he wanted that kill. That's what I can say.
Very PR of you. I'm glad you were able to get through that.
It's actual true. You know what I mean? Like
it is.
That was true ARAM gaming in the sense that, you know, you load into an ARAM, you just send it. You don't really care what happens. And that was
4 stacks of Dark Seal.
No, that was what Monki did here. They try to start the play. Culling's there. Doggo doing a nice job of trying to clear out this wave. With the handshake, it looked like they could find the kill, but the flash comes through and. I mean,
I'm surprised.
Yeah, me too. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. He says I'm impressed.
This is the LPL.
Oh
we aren't judging on like a oh how good is their laning? Where are the rotations? No, it's hey, what level of aggression are you bringing? And that was a really
Monki gets an
respectable.
A+.
Exactly. That was a great level of aggression.
Oh goodness! As the dragon gets started up, Ultra Prime in a position to contest here. They don't have presence from mid lane. See if they actually want to. Ooh, Decade getting a nice little trade onto Allah. He actually has a level advantage too. Meanwhile, Hacker goes in but can't get the trade. He goes in with a Magic Storm. Falling skies! Oh my god! Ultra Prime have dusted EDG. 2 kills go over to Doggo. And 0909 can't stand the heat. Get out of the kitchen.
Really nice setup. And it's coming from Hacker. Hacker finding that great engage to be able to allow Yuekai to pop off. And now, I mean, your 2 carries being the ones to benefit from all the kills. Ultra Prime are huge right now. 4K gold lead at only 12 minutes.
And early on, like, there was some trade back and forth. I was like, okay, we're getting some punches back. Hacker overextended, got caught. We had a capitalization. But slowly and steadily, Ultra Prime have been making the cleaner decisions. And here we go. Back into the play that might have doomed EDG.
Yeah. Great ult, great Q into the ult coming out, which just allows for the star to come out from Yuekai. I mean, there wasn't even really an opportunity for there to be a fight or really anything to analyze because the engage was so good, right? Like EDG, once the rel came down, you're not putting any damage on Doggo. You're not putting any damage on the Aurelian Soul either.
We were talking about a scaling pick who is now very far ahead, but Decade, gonna early flash, has the blast code. Oh no! Oh my god. He just got away with murder there.
And, you know, that kind of breaks my heart. Because coming into the day, me and you were talking before the broadcast, and I determined that TheSnake is like my emotional support player. You know, I go to him for comfort. I'll watch his games to make my day a bit better. And we need EDG to step up if I'm going to get any comfort from this. Just a little bit. Like a pentakill.
Yeah. I think you're going to have to contact whoever you got your emotional support animal from. He's not having a good time down here, my friend.
He needs an emotional support animal.
Yeah, something like that as the Falling Star does come through. Vampire is about to get chased down. Ultra Mega Fire Kick goes through. Ultra Prime running rampant on the map. They'll take first turret and bot side at 14 minutes.
I gotta be honest though, if there actually was like an emotional support player, there would actually be two. One would be Nenny, just because of how precious his interviews were when he first joined IG, right? Like, my God, that man was always nervous, and you just wanted him to succeed. The other one is Panda C. Like translation.
Did you recently read that interview?
Right? Yeah. So for people
bio?
out there was like a recent translation of him talking about his story on stream about how he never even intended to be a top laner. He was trialing for teams to support a jungle, and yeah, it was
Oh man, that brings me
story.
to the end of that, because it's like the end monologue of it is, you know, if that player was not named Panda C, would he have gotten a different look? And I was always actually a pretty decent fan of Panda C, and
hey, but he's back. He got picked up.
He's back.
He got picked up by Weibo's LDL team.
Exactly. So little things like that are interesting when you look at the introspective life of a lot of these players, right? There's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and I know these teams are definitely feeling that one, as especially EDG on the back foot heavily in this early game.
And we're getting to a point now, right? Sundersky and Monki, Malignance on 0909, where like maybe we start seeing a bit of damage, but then you look down to bot lane, and it's like, wait, TheSnake still doesn't have one item. We have Static Shift Rapid Fire already done.
Make the player gold go away. Jeez, Doggo is so far ahead. He is on 2 items.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you're at this point of the game as Ultra Prime, like the comms are, if EDG are ever around us, fight. 4v5, we can fight it. We can win.
Yeah.
Like, they are just so much stronger right now than EDG. It's pretty ridiculous.
And it's... Go ahead.
I was going to say, EDG at least have the 2 dragons to lean on, right? But again, the Aesol, getting all the Stardust, still scaling up. Like, I don't know if that changes much.
They've got their own dragon. Another turret will go down, this time in mid lane. But isn't it crazy that you get moments like this from Ultra Prime, right? There are so many times this split that I've been like, why was Yuekai teamless last year? Or I guess not teamless, but like subbing, at least for LNG. And I think you look at these kinds of votes from Doggo as well, where he's able to assert dominance, and you realize, you know, that man was literally a part of the BLG super team when he first came into the LPL, and how far he's come from that moment. It's insane that you get these little bright spots that we highlighted earlier for Ultra Prime.
Yeah, and you know, maybe people listening now will be like, hey casters, what are you saying? It's against EDG, it's 16th versus 17th, doesn't say much, but again, we have seen those glimpses from Ultra Prime throughout the season. You know, against mid-tier teams, against some of the lower end top-tier teams, so definitely some talent on the roster. And Tell, I mean, they have completely outclassed EDG in this game. But this sets up for my prediction to be true. For all of us watching here to think like, hey, this is going to decide who is last place. Ultra Prime will Ultra Prime will win, and then EDG will go on to beat JDG. It'll make no sense at all.
True, I'm here for it now, as we've already set the fate strings in motion. That is literally all 3 towers in bot lane at sub 17.5 minutes. My goodness. They are literally almost at a 10,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and they're getting more as the camera pans over Ultra Prime, taking more towers.
Okay, EDG. They want to make a play. Monkey's got the deep flank. 0909's here. This is the combination. Can they get it off? Meanwhile, Hacker at the base doing the dragon.
Just absolute desperation. They know they need to find something. They know they need to get some kills and get back in this game, but the angle wasn't there. The members of Ultra Prime were too far, and it just ends up wasting a TP.
Decade just walks straight into the maw of death, and he stands strong in its face. As the Ultra Mega Fire Kick not able to disconnect EDG from themselves. Hostile takeover right back. Doggo obliterated by Monki here. He does end up going down. 600 smackaroos go over, but look at Yuekai. He is burning them so that he can chop down and eat them. Alla and Monki, the only saving graces for EDG, but not for long. A triple kill for the massive dragon of Ultra Prime. Let's see if we get a quadra here. Alla's going to get one back, as we know he would. And now he's got a little bit of a fight back on the Jwei. He is the Cassante, and Yuekai doesn't have any means of getting to him. And that's it.
Yeah, once the ghost is popped, I'm glad that all of Ultra Prime realized, hey, this is a lost cause. Alo's getting away. Does it really matter? No, but maybe it matters some a bit more, because if I was Ultra Prime, I think we cannot let this guy end the game deathless. He's on the losing team. He needs to feel despair. But to bring us into the replay, Decade, like you said, running right into EDG, gets caught out. I'm surprised the confidence from Yuekai, just astral flight in. But, you know, they realize, hey, we are just so much stronger than them. Look at the damage, even from just those 3 culling shots. Hitting onto Monki does overextend a little bit, which opens for him to be jumped on, but keep your eyes on the Dragon, because he's absolutely dismantling the Snake and Vampire on the backside of the fight with Decade peeling, and it just leaves EDG a little bit trapped, trying to deal with the rest of Ultra Prime's frontline.
God, Yuekai executed this fight so well. And you love to see the ASOL coming back into the meta. Yes, Atla gets one back. He is Cassante, for God's sake. But it is a dominant Ultra Prime utilizing their strengths, right? They already have taken 6 towers. They have complete control of the map. They just did get their first dragon, so that aspect of scaling a little bit far off. But Yuekai is almost on 3 items. Doggo is on 3 items. They can continue pressing their advantage.
Now, we see 270 Stardust for the ASOL right now. Probably, I mean, not even probably. When we've seen in the fights, right, dealing huge amounts of damage, especially once you get to the point, right, 5 ranks in Q, when you could just start shooting your Breath of Fire forever, indefinitely. 7, 0, and 3.
Breath of Light?
Fully stacked Darksteel. That's just crazy.
That's, I think, the kicker for me, right? Like, he's been slowly just picking up stacks as the game goes on. To this pick that we labeled as, you know, heavy scaling, the insurance policy for Ultra Prime. I mean, it's the carry policy right now.
And Leandri's having the Seekers there as well to provide him a bit of safety if Monki ever finds an avenue of being able to jump on him. But
that.
he can just 1v1 him.
Jungler! The Falling Skies isn't going to do too much because of the Crescent Guard. The Fate's Call also got utilized there. Ultra Prime going to move on to the Tier 2 tower and top side and be able to take this one cleanly.
Yeah, like really solid map movements coming out right now for Ultra Prime. Push in mid, look for the pick in the enemy jungle. You had the wave started top.
Oh, they are getting a little bit big for their britches, but Hacker gets a nice redemption there. So I think Jwei actually had a big play. Now Decade sees the predatory instincts are coming alive here. Now Yuekai, he finds the angle. He doesn't have much damage to follow it up, but Decade wants it. He's in there, but he's going to go down immediately to the Snake as he pulls the Ren stacks out of the crock.
Yeah, EDG, they're able to find one back with how close the fight is to their base. So nice for them. Even getting some items off this, like we see the Horizon Focus and Redemption coming through for 0909 and Vampire. But still, that was a fight where we weren't getting to see Doggo especially get a lot of autos in, and he has the IE in pocket now. So, this could go so bad for EDG. Is Ultra Prime trying to get the Baron?
They burn it so fast, too. Able to get Monki in there maybe for EDG, but he doesn't want it. You have to body block for him, Ala. The bird, it's going, but it's not going to be enough. They did get the Baron anyways.
Like, one of the most dominant games of the split, which, you know, there's been a lot of, like, dominant games like this, but still, this is up there. And the fact that it's Ultra Prime doing it to EDG, again, is kind of mind-blowing. I didn't expect this. I thought, hey, you know, this series could still really go anywhere, right? EDG can come back in game 2 and completely stomp Ultra Prime. Like, I still don't know what to expect, even after seeing this game 1 be this dominant.
Unfortunately, hasn't been the welcoming that 0909 wanted. They combined early for some good moves around the map, but Ultra Prime have taken advantage of their strength ever since then. Allah has hit second item now, and so has Monki. So a little bit more safety in the team fights, but they're starting to lose their base.
Ultra Prime going forward quite aggressively. Yuekai just doesn't care, man. Even gets the flash out of 0909.
They're just using this pressure so well. He's also so tanky, right? He's on 3 items.
Yeah.
All those Darksteel stacks. Feels really good. So tanky, also could just survive for so long. 2 inhibs are going to go down in bot and mid.
Doggo as well is going to do a ton of damage right now. Like, has the last Whisper picked up. Like a full culling. Just brought Monki down to no HP, and this looks like it'll just be the end
Yuekai's holding on with the ulti right now, the big one, because he wants to bring the doom of EDG. Decade having popped his dominus. Monki going in with the crescent guard. Yuekai breathing on the backs of EDG, but Decade wants to go for it a little bit more. He's got those rage stacks now. One turret left. Can Ultra Prime put the finishing touches here? They are feeling a little bit wary, and the handshake comes through on its way. The Vampire with a flash hostile takeover, but now as the skies descend on EDG's game one, Ultra Prime reigns supreme. It's like the dawning of the end of the dinosaurs, as Ultra Prime will win game one holistically.
Yeah, completely outclassed. EDG was this game by Ultra Prime. It was crazy. A lot of mistakes from EDG. Great job by especially Hacker and Yuekai. I think really being the ones to punish them. A lot of good setups, a lot of good ults coming out from Hacker. And I mean, we saw what Yuekai was able to do. It was huge.
It was absolutely massive. Not just because he's a gigantic dragon in Aurelion Sol. It was impressive from Ultra Prime, but again, it was a symptom of what we've seen little bits of throughout this split, and it was nice to see against EDG. Apparently 0909 is not the magical cure for EDG's issues. We'll see if they can bounce back into game number 2. We'll be back after a break.